All right, folks, now we're going to do the next 4 exercises in the lower body series. They all relate to each other because they all involve tilting or tossing of the pelvis. So again, we're in the standard breathing posture. You get a flow with the ah breath going. And then the first exercise is just a gentle pelvic tilt and then a flop. So again, remember, a flop is just letting gravity take you down, and you can do that with your hand just to get a sense of it. Sometimes it's easier to let go with your arm. Flopping, not forcing, not hesitating, but just flopping. Once you get a feel for that, then you're going to try that with different body parts, in this case the pelvis. So what you're going to do here is on the inhale, tilt the pelvis up, and then on the ah sound, ah. Let it just flop back down. Now the most common mistake you can make here, which almost everyone makes in the beginning, is to go like this. Ah, which is a very different movement. You're lifting the low back, so that's how you'll be able to tell. You can even put your hands here to kind of feel what's going on. You want this part to stay on the bed, and just the bone, the muscles of the pelvis, tilting, so like this. Ah. Now I'm going to demonstrate it. Ah. You say ah, then you let it relax. Ah. I'll show you the error. Ah. And then I'll go back to doing it correctly. Ah. You also might find some difficulty in letting go. Again, with this movement, you can then hesitate on purpose. Ah. And then you can force it on purpose. Ah. And then go back to just letting it flop. Ah. Ah. And I don't know if you can see it yet, but I'm already getting the leg trembling. That may or may not happen for you over time. It'll start to happen more. Don't worry about it, though, and don't try to stop it. Ah. So just a gentle pelvic tilt. There's an extreme that you can go to with it before it starts lifting your back off the ground. Ah. Now the next one in the series is the pelvic tilt and slam. So you relax between the exercises if you were doing this in a sequence by doing some ah breaths. And you resume the movement, the same movement as before on the inhalation. But now on the ah sound, you slam it down, so you make a louder ah sound, which will help you to slam it down with more force. Ah. 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 Now for this one, you can also add words if there's a person that pisses you off, or an event or a word that really gets your aggression going. You want to use that word and add the aggression to the movement. So let's try the word hate. Hate! Now see, when I make that louder, aggressive sound, my body naturally makes the movement more aggressive as well. Now practice that on your own. Get a sense for it. Try it like this. Ah. Now try it with a louder sound. Ah! And you'll feel, I felt all my muscles correspond with that vocal expression in a more aggressive way. But test it for yourself. Don't take my word for it. You'll feel it. You'll know exactly what I mean. Hate. No. I won't. Fuck you. So you try whatever words work for you. Any of those will work. I just want to give you an example of things you can use. And you might feel a little uncomfortable when you do it. That's good. That's a sign you're actually pushing it into some new territory. So don't be afraid of those feelings. Take it as far as you can each time. If you get a little freaked out, just back off, do some breathing, move to the next exercise. The next one in this series, again, dealing with the pelvis. This one is just a pelvic roll. And this one's a little bit different. For this one, you take your full inhale, and then on the ah sound, you just do a roll through the complete range of motion of the pelvic tilt. So you go ah. And the motion is synchronized with the exhale. So again, ah. This one you're controlling the movement the entire time. Ah. Up and back down again. Now if you work out, if you're a runner, any of those kind of things, you're going to have different days when you can do it better, days when you do it worse, where you have more control or less control over the muscles. For example, I went running a couple nights ago, so I'm getting more shaky. It's a little more difficult, but it still has the same benefits. Ah. So again, you take the full inhalation, then you say ah, and synchronize with the exhale is the movement. Ah. Now as you can tell, my movements are making the wind blow really hard. So if you hear that, that's what's happening. No, I'm kidding. You know, who knows, maybe there is a correspondence. Doesn't matter to me either way. Now the next movement in the series, again, it's related to the pelvis, but this one is a pelvic toss. So again, we leave everything alone for the inhalation. Then on the ah sound, you're going to throw the pelvis up and let it just go after that. So the only movement you're making is to toss it up. After that, you just let go. It comes down on its own. Ah. Ah. Now see, that's different than if I was doing my entire low back. In the beginning, you might not be able to separate the two, but you focus every single time on separating those muscles. Ah. Here's what it looks like if you have trouble with the back. Ah. So that's different than if I go ah. Full inhalation. Ah. Again, the louder exhale. Excuse me, the louder ah sound. Ah. Now, of course, I'm getting tons and tons of trembling here. Again, you may get that, you may not. Don't worry about it. Just notice it if it's there. Ah. 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 All right, and that concludes the series of pelvis exercises. So if you have any questions, comments, go ahead and post them in the forum. And if you want me to take a look at your movement and give you any pointers, just record a video, upload it to YouTube, or send me the link, and we'll post it in here and you'll get your comments. All right, folks, see you on the next exercise.